There is an extraordinary teaching coming from the Buddhist tradition which hasn't been discovered yet in the Western world, and this is the teaching of the 5 powers. And the 5 powers are 5 capacities that we have that are really toolkits for transformation. They include mindfulness and go beyond mindfulness. And I've written a book on the 5 powers, and I think that they can be, especially in these times of struggle and challenge and risk and viruses, we really need capacities to be able to cope, to be able to deal with anxiety and fear and concern, to dance with uncontrollable life rather than drown in the situation. So the powers are exactly the kind of things we need to develop in our daily life in order to cope and in order to surf the waves of change rather than drown under them. The 5 powers are trust, energy, mindfulness, calm, and insight. And I want to give an image. Imagine that we're going shopping. The power of trust would be the sense of steadiness. Step by step, we are walking, we are trusting our feet, we're trusting the world, we are with things, not against them. We feel supported. Energy is the energy to keep going, the energy to be step by step, the resources that we have, something in us that is alive, vital, determined, and we'll get there. Mindfulness is the awareness that we have we're awake. We're not just lost in the list of what we need to buy in the shop. We are aware of our feet as we walk. We are aware of the sky above and the earth beneath. We are aware of the gardens and the flowers that we see on the way, and even the small flowers on the side of the road. We're just aware. We're not sleepwalking to the shop. Calm and steadiness is the sense, step by step, we feel steady, we feel solid, we feel there, we feel quiet, we feel connected. Nothing is missing in this moment. And insight, the wisdom, the 5th power, is the power of realization about myself and the world, the realization of what we discover on the way, of what's new for us, of how we can make this moment extraordinary, not just ordinary. So I'd like to explore the 5 powers a little bit one by one, and I'll start with trust, the first of the 5. Trust is the quality and the capacity that we have to be with things as they are, to allow things to be the way they are, and not all the time struggling against life. It's opening the door to experience rather than shutting the door and hiding and turning on the TV. It's acceptance, its ability to receive things. And we might think, if I accept the unacceptable, then that's not a good basis for action. But actually, trust is the best basis for action. It's meeting life as it is, and from that place we can be more effective in healing and in transforming ourselves and the world. The 2nd power, energy. We may find that at times we are flowing like a hawk on the wind with no effort. The day is unfolding softly for us. At times we might need determination and effort. Between the being a hawk on the wind and climbing the mountain, there is a huge territory. This is the quality or the capacity of energy. We discover sources of energy that we didn't know before. We discover where our deep energy lies. We discover what it's like to live with much less stress and pressure and the sense of I have to, or I must, or I have to measure the outcomes, or I have to get there. It's much more the energy coming from the source, from ourselves, from inside, how we manifest ourselves in the world, and because of that, much less stressful, much less pressure. The third power is mindfulness, which many of you already know. And mindfulness is the quality of being awake, aware, and present. Instead of being on automatic pilot and just having the to-do list in our mind, it's actually transferring or changing the to-do list to to-be list. It's about knowing what we're doing, it's knowing what we think, it's knowing what our heart says. It's like sitting by the river and listening to the water and watching the stream of water going past. It's knowing what's in our heart. It's seeing the issues and problems that we struggle with and seeing that they pass and they go. It's our sense that even the simple act of washing up or getting the kids off to school or brushing our teeth can be a moment full of meaning and presence and quiet and awareness. The fourth power is calm. And calm is finding a steady, quiet place within us. And if we want to make change in the world, we ourselves need to be steady when others are not steady. We need to keep our head when others are losing theirs. We need to find place in us where we feel we stand our ground and then we go out and make change. Calm is something we can learn, we can develop. We can find inner quiet in us. And when we find that inner quiet, we can find that we're listening to all the voices inside us that we long to hear. Wisdom is the fifth power. It's the power of insight, the power of intuition, the power of realization. When we get up in the morning, how do we know what is helpful, what is beneficial to ourselves or to others? How do we know to make choices? How do we know what's really important in our life and in the life of others? This is wisdom. Wisdom needs all the other powers, the quietness, the mindfulness, the trust, all the other powers kind of collect together in wisdom. Wisdom turns our life into magic. Wisdom makes the ordinary into the extraordinary. Wisdom is what helps us to stand where we are and bring relief, help, and support to many others around us. The five powers are all helping each other, and we need all of them as tools for transformation, for change, for making a difference in our life. And I really hope that with this book that I've written and with the teachings of the five powers, they can be useful and used by many, many people as a capacity to cope with these difficult times. I've written many books in my life, and this book, when I first saw it published, it actually brought tears to my eyes, because it's not only my text, but it's also unbelievably beautiful watercolors that are kind of Zen-style watercolors. I really feel this book can help people in their life, and also is a beautiful book to have and to hold. So I would like to encourage all of you to Consider the five powers as being a valuable and special new teaching which hasn't been presented before in the Western world. I've been teaching Buddhist teachings for 25 years to really thousands of people, and I'm delighted that after all these years the five powers has become, or can become, a major teaching in the Western world. Thank you.